Here is something that I want to talk about for a while now, and this is a company, customgamecases.com, where you can order a bunch of games and whatnot, and you would essentially get here customized games for your cases on various things. Mainly right now, it's mostly Nintendo. They recently got Sega consoles as we speak, the Genesis itself. But for now, it's mostly just something I wanted to show because their quality is excellent, and I want to show you people firsthand how it actually looks. So let's go ahead and look at the actual games from customgames.com. As you can see right here, I ordered 2 copies of the Game Boy stuff, the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Color, Wario Land, and Drill Dozer. You can tell by the quality of it all, these seem to replicate everything that was there for the most part. They're missing the little side part right here, but that's fine because honestly, people don't care about the box part. It has that Drill Dozer thing here, and it has all the old school stuff right here. As you can see, this will be part of the old school box and everything. I wish I had the box itself to like show you like, hey, you can use this too. Or rather, it looks exactly the same, but unfortunately, this is the reason why I have these game cases to begin with, because I do not have the original boxes. Because when I was a dumb little kid, I decided to destroy them and just basically just take the manuals, and I don't even know where the manuals are now, so... Yeah, I did a bad thing, a very, very, very bad thing. But suffice to say, that's what they're here for. They're here to make you custom cases for these games, and maybe even some games that do not actually have custom cases. Like this one right here. And as you can see, this actually has a vertical layout in comparison to this one right here, Illusion of Gaia. Which, by the way, folks, I do plan to play eventually. It's just one of those things, just like, I got some time to do things and whatnot. But as you can see, it actually has all little nice little bits and everything. It's a full recreation of everything. That's all essentially it is. Just right down to the barcode. And just so you know, this is the newer cases they have for their SNES games. They did not originally have this as their SNES game cases, as far as I know. And in all honesty, I feel like it's kind of better this way. It's bigger and everything. I'll show you how big it is later, a little bit later. But for now, as you can tell, they do have a vertical thing right here. That's sold by anybody. It's just broadcast satellite view, The Legend of Zelda. And yes, I do indeed have that. I'll show you in just a bit. But as you can see, it has its own little thing that it like makes of and whatnot. And that's pretty good and cool. They have their own little description to make. And if you actually tell them, like, hey, you don't have this game, can you make it? From what I've heard, from what the reports are saying, they will actually do that for you. They will make their cases for you and whatnot. And as you can see right here, with these new ones, they have a nice little lip tidbit right here, where you can just kind of like lock it in and it's there, and it's pretty radical. You also have the little place right there for the instruction booklet and whatnot, which you'll all see in just a bit. Just how nice and framed it is. But these are nice and smooth cases. Very easy, very, very good. But they are big cases, just so y'all know. To put it in perspective, it takes about 2 PS4 games to fit the same size cases. So we could just kind of like do right here. As you can tell, it's about 2 PS4 cases. So it's going to take a wide bit of your shelf space, as it were, when it comes to actually filling up that shelf space. But to actually keep your SNES games properly, definitely it's the way to go, I would say. Your more important ones, most definitely. For a full collection, it's a hard swing. It is a hard swing, I will say that much. But I could definitely see that happen. And right here, we have some cases right here that I got for Skippy-san. And this will come a bit later into frame, but just to show you just how they are and whatnot, and how they look. Really nice, really powerful, and just generally cool how they have all these things together and whatnot. I'm not sure exactly if they're like frame by frame, but for the most part, they try to do as best as they can to replicate everything. And so far, I've been just amazed at the quality of it. Now, something I want to show right here is the SNES cases. You see, this is the original one that I had shown you. This is the one I got previously before. I'm going to actually keep this one. This one's for Skippy-san. Because I owe him a few things. But as you can tell, when I open this up, and yes, it is a clear case, you can actually get it in clear cases, just so you know, there is not a space for your manual. There is not. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people started complaining about that, and they're like, okay, we'll make manual space, essentially. And, yeah, it works. It really does. And it's nice and fancy. I mean, it's still a good case, honestly. They're pretty much exactly the same in terms of quality and whatnot. They really just like has some sort of like nice printer or something. I don't know what it is, but they pretty much replicate everything about it, and it's just the box itself that would change, if anything else, which is cool. But yeah, they did change their formula and everything of how they go about things. But just so you all know too, even back then with the Super Game Boy here, I got the vertical version of it. If you can't tell, it's actually a little bit full, and that's because it actually has the Super Game Boy in here, as I can see. And the Super Game Boy is a freaking huge gauntlet of a thing, but they actually were able to make it fit into these things. Not well, but it does fit. Like every now and again, it takes a little bit to actually like put that in. But for the most part, they are accommodating to it. As you can also see here with Drill Dozer, I do not have Drill Dozer with me right now. I'm very sad about that, but I do have something similar to it, and that's Yoshi's Topsy Tipsy World. Drill Dozer comes kind of like this, so it should fit just exactly as well. I'll update this later on to say if it does or not, but yeah, they obviously do have their heads where they should be, because they essentially make these DS cases, and they make them really nice and fancy, and it works so well. You know, it looks really good, and just this is nice. It's nice. It really is. Just to show you some more about like how fancy these cases are, we're gonna look at cases that I made for myself. So what I made for myself, I essentially had my uncle rip apart this little part for the DS and just have a little case right there, and still just a DS case, as you can see. Very just it's okay. It wibbles around a bit, and that kind of sucks. And as you can also tell here, the thing didn't print exactly completely all the way that it should, and that's just unfortunate. It really is. And the same thing goes on right around here. And just like, oh no, that's not great. That's not great at all. But they're my mistakes, my choices to make, and what I really want to just kind of like do. So that's like, whatever. I'll just take it for what it is. Now, if we look over here for the cases that I do have, they are so much better. And I just wanted to show you all, they do have different ways to put your colors for the binder of the game. So you can actually give them a color like this, or you can have it like that. I like this way personally, but just I had this kind of like, okay, so just to see how it is. And of course we have Wario Land 3, nice little thing. Dragon Warrior 1 and 2. Unfortunately, this one doesn't work so well, so I had to like get it all done in one setting, as you can see later on down the road. And the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, the color version. So just gonna right there, see. And as you can tell, they all have this little thing right here. And even in the Kid Icarus one, I actually have the manual for it. And surprise, surprise, it actually does fit. The manual does fit. It's not the best fitting. Like, by means, it's not the best fitting, but it does fit. It fits well. And that's all you really want and need, is that it fits very well. It's so lovely. Just look how good they did. Like, you can tell there's no like little marks that I did at an unprofessional level. It looks like it's literally just the cover of the game on a DS case. And I gotta say, if you're gonna buy anything from these people, it would be these cases. These cases are easily the most professional and easily the best part about custom games, custom game cases, because they do not fill up a large majority of your shelf. They pretty much fill up less space than the original boxes do. And they actually look nicer, and they're sleeker, and it's best. They are the best. They really are. So I'm going to probably get more cases for my Game Boy Colors and Game Boy games, for sure. But SNES games are going to be a harder sell, and NES games, as it were. Although NES games, they kind of fit for this, just so you know. As you can see, I have a few ones right here. River City Ransom, Castlevania, Dragon Warrior, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, but this is the first one, not the second one. Ninja Gaiden, yes, it does have the clear case, because I thought that would look good at first, but as you can see, vastly superior. Black case wins the day. And of course we have Guardian Legends, which, by the way, I do have everything in it now. So as you can see right here, this is how they all look. This is how the manual fits into them. It fits really well. As I have to say, again, it is an amazing thing that they did here at Custom Game Cases. And I'm not getting paid for this or anything. I just think it's a nice little service that they do, and just it needs to be said more often than not. They do a really fantastic job, and for NES games and for Game Boy Color games, I'm definitely going to use them a whole ton. SNES games are just a harder sale here, but It feels like a full complete thing, and I just love that so much. As you see here as well, I do also have a little amount of N64 games that were encased in the same thing. Unfortunately, they are the clear ones that I got previously before, and I actually will keep these cases as clear because I do like the way the N64 looks with a clear case. But in terms of everything else, I probably will try to see if they have the newer versions of it. I do not know, but it does seem like it's going that way, considering the way that the SNES cases were like this instead of like the DK case over there. Which, again, they do a fantastic job of recreating everything, making everything just look like it was before, and just, it's lovely. It really, really is. There's a slight problem with the N64 ones because the way that they're kind of built, it just, yeah, it's kind of this way, unfortunately. But in all honesty, when you think about it, this is the only way they could really be made. They could be made this way and no other way. Because they were slanted this way and just kind of like, oh, it did not lend itself well. And of course, we also had the vertical covers here too. And like I would like to state to people right now, vertical covers are pretty much for every single thing here. I just got the vertical covers for certain games because I wasn't knowing how I was going to feel about that, but it's just an option for you people. If you really don't like the way this looks, the way that it kind of like flips around and everything, you get this, so it's a little more natural. Or you want to put your cases up like this instead of like that, I guess. But I do them both ways, honestly, so it's just a matter of finding room more than anything else. But like I said before, they do not have the same sort of like areas and whatnot. And this one's kind of loose, but it does have the ability to like hold it in place. If I could just kind of see, it just kind of holds it in place. Not to a wide degree, so you're not going to get any lock-on technology going on here, but it's pretty cool. So yes, if you would like to actually get custom game cases, I would strongly suggest customgamecases.com because they make a lovely, lovely product. And the best part about it is that it only costs roughly $3 to $4 essentially to get these. These are all essentially like $3 to $4. I think the Game Boy Color cases and whatnot, they're slightly cheaper, but for the most part, you're paying that much money for it. And of course, there's also shipping and handling, which shipping and handling is a real bummer, but you get about 4 cases at a time for the most part, and just kind of work yourself like that. Get 4 cases, pay however much they have you pay for shipping, and you're just paying $4 for it, and it's a good solution. It really is, and it makes my game collection look really nice. You really do. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later, okay? Go and check that website out.